In Yuin country, under the watchful eye of Mount Gallagher, is the site of the beautiful island of Baranguba and its surrounding clear blue waters. This oceanic habitat is within one of the sanctuary zones inside the New South Wales South Coast Batemans Marine Park. Established in part as a test pilot marine park for New South Wales, any changes here could become precedents for changes in other marine parks around Australia. In December 2019, the New South Wales government literally began scrapping sanctuary zones in the Batemans Marine Park. These zones have been in place with good purpose for over 13 years. Simply with the wave of a pen and a media release from Minister Marshall, amnesties were announced permitting recreational fishing in 6 of Bateman's sanctuary zones. The decision took place immediately after the announcement under an amnesty system, before any consultation with the community. In fact, the New South Wales government's own law says there must be a 2-month period of public consultation before regulations covering zoning in marine parks can be amended. Marine parks are not like national parks, where all the wildlife is protected. It is only in the small percentage of sanctuary zones where no taking and no fishing is allowed. Only at these now threatened locations do species have any chance of growing bigger than legal catch limits. The bigger some grow, the more they can reproduce, the longer they live, and the more fish numbers there will be. Even a child can understand the simple logic of a sanctuary zone, yet our own government seems intent once more on applying further pressure to our threatened and fragile natural environments. Some of our sanctuary zones were already undermined prior to this current amnesty by earlier changes in law allowing recreational fishing from headlands and rocky shores within some zones. Headlands in particular include rocky areas where algae and seaweed grow, providing important habitat for marine critters. This current campaign then is the second effort by the New South Wales government to dismantle the safety and sanctitude of the protected zones. One has to wonder what will be the third if they fail to hear our voice. There are scientifically proven reasons why sanctuary zones exist. They allow for the protection of biodiversity in the wide variety of habitats within the marine park. They promote conditions for the flourishing of marine flora and fauna and protect threatened species. These include grey nurse sharks, black rock cod, shorebirds and seagrasses. All of these values and creatures are now undermined. By contrast, there are no good reasons for the changes that were announced. There was no scientific justification put forward for them and no process of scientific assessment, further undermining the integrity of the zones as scientific reference areas. In our precious park of rugged cliffs, windswept beaches and offshore islands lie rocky reefs teeming with life and brightly coloured sponge gardens. These waters are home to charismatic blue gropers, delicate weedy sea dragons, threatened grey nurse sharks, playful seals, penguins and even turtles. This great ecosystem, this great asset to our community, is already under stress. Half of our shallow water reefs are degraded and barren, and the threats of pollution, invasive pests, fishing pressure and climate change continue to grow. Our shallow reefs are also the ones most enjoyed by recreational fishers as well as the lobster and abalone fisheries, adding further stresses. Rare large snapper that have had up to 13 years of protected growth in and around sanctuary zones are key to the future of the species. More snapper into the future, an unarguable benefit to divers, snorkelers and fishers alike. This long-term benefit in large growth, facilitated by the sanctuary zones, could be destroyed within a few months of recreational fishing. Large snapper in particular are crucial in the control of urchins, the main cause of the devastating barrens. It is now August 2020, and we expect there to be an announcement of a 2-month public consultation period very soon, before the changes announced in the amnesty could potentially become law. When that announcement happens, and before, we will need your support. We will need your passion, and we will need you to stand beside us, share our battle cry, sign petitions, share posts, like videos, join our volunteer-run organisation and follow our social media. Look out for us at some upcoming events and see how else you can help. Knowledge is power. If we share the word, we can stand as one loud community voice. Then maybe we have a chance at being heard. Our community has rallied together in the face of bushfires and COVID. Now it's time to rally together to protect our Batemans Marine Sanctuaries, for our marine life and for our South Coast way of life. When the time comes, stand with us, we beg you, and say no more to the continued destruction of our beloved Australian natural environment. Stand with us to save Batemans Sanctuaries.